My first guest stars in the NBC series The Office. I love this show. I think it's a very funny show. You've also seen him in films like Bruce Almighty and Anchorman. His latest film is called The 40-Year-Old Virgin. It opens everywhere August 19th. Please welcome Steve Carell, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Having a good summer? You take some time off?
I did. Went back to Massachusetts. I know you're from there.
Yeah, okay, sure. Our home state?
Wicked pissa!
Yeah, he said that's very good.
It was wicked pissa going back. It was, I used to say something called Kipakino Cool. I don't even know if it was a Massachusetts thing. I would just say
I think you're the only person that said that, yeah.
We rented a house on kind of the South Shore of Boston.
Sure.
And it was great. Just, you know, my family and I, and all of the bugs that were down there. Have you heard of there's a bug called the greenie? I don't know if they're out here necessarily, but on the shore in Massachusetts, there are a lot of them. And they're kind of like mosquitoes, but they're kind of like really bastard mosquitoes. They're bastard bugs, whereas a mosquito would kind of say, okay, I'm biting you. I'm biting you now. And you can, oh, no, okay, sorry about that. What was I thinking? A greenie will like walk up to your skin or fly up and just go, And they're idiots too, because you just go boom and they're dead. They don't fly away. They look at you like, okay, kill me. But they will gnaw through your leg. They'll actually bite you through those chairs.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
They will get underneath and bite you up through the chair. I have scars on my legs from greenie. They are bugs that give you the finger while they are biting.
Wow, wow, you don't hear it, but that's a tough bug.
Well,
I see why you only go back once a year, yeah.
Right.
Now, I know you just celebrated an anniversary.
I did. Years? Our 10th year anniversary.
Oh, that's very nice. Happy anniversary. Very nice. Now, do you do...
I was so hoping they'd applaud.
Well, yeah, they always... Anything over 3 months in Hollywood.
It's a miracle.
Do you exchange gifts? You do the whole deal?
We did. We went out to dinner and had a babysitter and the whole thing. I know. And she gave me this lovely watch, gorgeous real timepiece, and I gave her a homemade certificate for 1 free back rub, and the tears welled in her eyes.
I can see why, yeah.
No, I gave her a ring, and she got all teary-eyed. It was great. It was great.
That's
really nice. I'm very sweet.
Now, you said you said you had a babysitter, so I assume that wasn't part of the threesome. You have to have children. Yeah.
What?
No, I'm sorry. How many kids do you have?
We have 2.
2 kids.
One
How
and
old
4.
are they? 1 and 4. 1 and 4. Okay.
Please apply.
Okay. Well, let me ask you something. Now, obviously, your 4-year-old must kind of understand what Daddy does.
Kind of, sort of.
Well, let's show. This billboard's been all over town. Okay.
Well, first of all,
what does that do to a child's head?
Well, she doesn't read yet, so whenever we talk about the movie, we say, "Oh yeah, the 40-year-old because you don't want to explain what's a virgin. Oh, you know, your head explodes. So it's the 40-year-old, and we're driving around town, and she looks up and she sees that insane poster of, you know. And she just thinks Daddy is, well, what does she describe me? Daddy's crazy, Daddy's, you know. She looks out the window and says, why are you on all these signs? She didn't even call them billboards. Why is your face on all these signs? And I say, well, I did a movie, and in order for people to see the movie, this is trying to get people to see the movie. And she just couldn't be less interested. Just like put on a DVD.
I just like to hang here. Because my mother would spell things out. You see, you go, it's a... Right. My mother would... I was actually in college, sitting at the dinner table. My mother said to my father, you know, the so-and-sos across the street are getting a D-I-O-V-R-C-E. I go, Mom, I'm in college. I can spell divorce.
And actually, you thought they were virgins, which is the irony.
Now, tell people what the 40-Year-Old Virgin is about.
It's about a guy who's just kind of missed out on losing his virginity. It is about a middle-aged person, not based on anyone. So you didn't get
got the idea from watching like a late night show.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
It's just about a guy who just it never happened. He had some bad opportunity.
Right.
Well, he had some opportunities that turned out to be bad experiences.
Yeah.
And so he just sort of gave up. And he's not weird. He's not like
that's
crazy or emotionally damaged. He's just kind of a nice guy.
It's one of those things where the perfect storm thing never happened.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Now, were you ever a ladies' man yourself?
Yes.
Really? Yeah.
Well, you've seen the poster.
Yeah.
I mean,
so I feel foolish. Yeah. I feel foolish acting now. Yeah. Asking him.
I just left a trail of broken hearts across the East Coast. Yeah.
Well, look, I'll tell you what, we'll take a break. We'll find out more with Steve Carell right after this break. Welcome back. Talking with Steve Carell, star of the 40-year-old virgin. Now, last time we were here, you talked about this waxing thing, and I kind of knew what you meant. And then I saw the movie, and I went, oh, my God, that looks excruciating. Explain the waxing scene to people.
Well, at one point in the movie, one of the characters suggests, we were going to have kind of a makeover sequence, and one of the characters suggests I lose some of the chest hair. And I'm pretty naturally, well, I'm a very naturally hairy guy.
Right.
And so I figured if we were going to shoot the scene, we should do it for real. So we set up 5 cameras, and we could only have 1 take. And they applied the wax, and they ripped it off. And that's kind of was my reaction. And if you look closely, if you see the movie, they do a close-up, and you can see the blood beating to the surface of my skin.
Now, how about the crew, like the crew guys? Could they handle this?
Could not have been more cavalier about it.
Really?
The guys thought, this will be hysterical, go for it, man. And the women, on the other hand, were saying, would you maybe like some Advil? Or maybe you should trim it down a little bit so it doesn't hurt quite as much when they pull, or some topical solution that'll numb it. And they knew. They knew what I was getting into. And I have such, I respect women so highly for, truly, and this isn't to elicit a response, but having children and getting waxed are 2 I will do neither.
Right. In that order. Now, how did your wife react? Did she like you more as the...
Oh, she was so into it.
Really?
Oh, she just makes me keep it that way.
Really?
No, she hated it so much. I came home that night, and she just could not believe how horrifying it looked.
Really?
And she made me wear a T-shirt to bed.
But, well, also, they didn't get all of it, so... well, I'm not going to give away, but it looks
Well,
bizarre.
it's a face.
Yeah, it's a face is what it is. How about the kids? Did you frighten the children with it?
Yeah, my daughter actually said exactly that. Daddy, your chest is smiling at me.
Now you had a lot of make-out scenes in the movie as well. Is this your first big kiss? 'Cause I've seen you little pecs in movies. This is the first real make-out.
This movie is the first time I've ever actually kissed a woman. Not
really
on camera.
Oh, okay.
And so yeah, my wife hasn't seen the movie yet.
Really? Well, for you, how was it? Acting? Did you get into it? What?
No, I didn't get into it at all.
Really?
No. And this has nothing to do with the fact that my wife is backstage.
Right.
It was so, you get on a set like that, and it's just acting, and everybody's in the moment, and it has nothing to do with anything.
Right.
Loved it.
Really?
At one point, actually, I do a makeout scene with this woman named Elizabeth Banks, and she's gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
And Judd actually, the director, Judd Apatow, at one point said, you know, Elizabeth, next take, I'd really like to see you using a tongue on Steve. I really want to see a deep French kiss. And I was like, oh, okay. And the next take, she literally cleaned out the inside of my mouth.
Really? Wow. Now that's acting. Yeah.
Yes, and she could not have been less interested in me.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there was absolutely no sexual energy at all. It was like, cut, she's done. You know, she's out of it.
so it was like real life. Yeah.
Yes, it was. I so walked into that.
Now, did you tell your wife when you got home? Did you tell it as you told? For example, you told me a more watered down version here than you would have backstage.
Yes. Well, I would get home and, you know, I'd have these long, hard days of making out with women, you know, 12 hours.
12 hours.
And
it's a living hell.
She's taking care of 2 kids all day. And I'm like, I am beat. And your voice naturally goes higher when you're lying, too. So, did you have one of those makeout scenes today? Oh, yeah, that was a little bit. Was it fun? No!
Season of The Office, season 1 is now on DVD. I love this, too. This is one of my favorite shows.
Very
funny
much.
job. Steve, congratulations. Say hi to Judd for her. I'll be right back with Greta Van Susteren right after this.